Have you ever tried to remove 30-year-old wallpaper from your home? And if so, how successful were you? Hello everyone and welcome back. In this episode, we are going to be tackling our main floor bathroom. Now, this bathroom is not original to the home. Our home was built in 1927 and it only had one bathroom and it was upstairs. Now, the previous owners, I believe it was in the late 1990s, added this bathroom. But I am going to show you some tricks and tips to get stubborn, sticky, gooey wallpaper off your walls. Here is some video footage of the wallpaper and of the bathroom. The first thing that I did was take off the switch plate covers and the towel bars as well. They use some very large screws. It seems that this is the third incarnation of that toilet paper holder. Here is a close-up of the wallpaper. I'm sure it was lovely when it was first installed, but it's yellowed over time and has started to peel, and it's time for an update. I start by finding a spot where the paper has already started peeling. First, I need to remove the top layer of the wallpaper. Sometimes you get lucky and it comes off in large pieces, and other times you only get small slivers. This is due to how much glue was applied to that area. There are a few different ways to remove wallpaper. Now, one way is using this scoring tool. Now, I purchased this over 20 years ago when we lived in a home that had plaster walls. And this was ideal because plaster is very, very hard and you really can't do anything to hurt it. And so how this works is you put it on the wall and you go in a circular motion like this, and then it puts all these little tiny holes in the wall so that when you spray on your solution to wet the paper to loosen it up, it comes off easier. The problem with this is you have to be really, really careful if you use this on drywall, because if you push too hard, you will put a whole bunch of little holes in your drywall, and you don't want that. So I typically do not use this tool when I'm removing wallpaper from drywall, and that's what this is. These walls are drywalled, so I will not be using this tool for this particular project. The damaged part of this wall was here when we bought the house, where it butts up to the vanity. And I think the problem is this vanity is a 48-inch, and typically they come standard in a 49-inch. And I think that they had this cut down to fit the space. And they got really creative here by the windowsill. You can see they ran the vanity under the window trim, and then they cut into the windowsill to get the vanity to fit. So this is an area we're going to have to fix with some spackling.
I'm going to take this floor heat thermostat cover off, and so that we can easily wallpaper around it, and then I'm not going to disconnect it, but I'm going to pull it apart enough so that we can wallpaper.
Yes, because our ceramic tile floors are heated in the bathroom and in the hallway, the entranceway.
Yep. So this one, you just have to take the little knob off is not real easy, but I have it like that. And I'm sure there's an easier way. There we go. Okay. To do that, there's one screw that holds this part on. And then this pops right off. Am I on? Am I live? Woohoo!
You're
Yeah,
live.
I am.
You're live, all right. Be careful you don't light up because you haven't turned off the circuit breaker yet.
No, we're gonna open this up, see what's in there, because the fan makes a little noise. Maybe it's got some bad bearings, or you can replace the little fan motor. We don't know. You like this, right?
Yeah, I like it because it has a cool old retro look to it.
There. I don't know if this has ever been off here. Okay, so it's got a little knob that comes off. It should. There we go. Should open up. I guess that's like a little filter screen. It doesn't look. Maybe it could be washed a little bit.
Yeah, I'll wash it up if we decide to keep it.
So now we got a little fan, and yeah, it looks like maybe the bearings are a little sluggish, and it's just a little fan. Can it pop out of there? Yeah, it plugs in. So this whole thing, I don't even know. Yeah, the door is stuck shut on it, so I don't even know if it was doing.
Oh, great. Well, we haven't used it that much
See what
anyway.
about the other side? Oh no. So the other door opens up pretty good, but the other door.
It was kind of stuck.
It may be that
Just needs to be cleaned, maybe.
sometimes they have like little spots where you can just drop oil in. It's almost like a furnace blower motor, inducer motor. I'm a little bit concerned because we've been in this house for a year and my wife has not taken this fan out and oiled it twice. So every 6 months it says lubricate with SA20. And she was talking about SA20, but she never got up there and actually did the job. We're going to have a little talk later.
Who in their right mind is going to take a whole ceiling fan apart and every 6 months oil it and put it back?
If you were paying attention, you would have known.
Oh, that's just insane.
Insane?
Yes.
Oh, just because you can't see the dirt doesn't mean it's not there, right? Just because it has instructions you can't see. You should have been up in there.
Apparently. Next, we needed to take down the 1990s medicine cabinet. And then we took down the old light fixture, and this came down in several pieces.
Got a bump in the ceiling, I don't know what it is. Looks like maybe somebody had to get access to something up here and patch it up, but it looks like the tape didn't stick good, and so it bubbled up. So here's why it's bubbled, is because it's not glued to the paper, right? Why that is, we don't know.
I am cutting around this metal plate to make the wallpaper easier to remove. Getting the top layer of wallpaper off is the easy part. Some people use a solution of water and fabric softener, and others use water and vinegar. I use Dawn dish soap and water because I feel that the soap helps to cut the glue. You want to generously spray down your walls, getting the paper very wet. Sometimes you get lucky and the paper comes off easily, and other times not. I'm taping some plastic over the circuit board to protect it from the water. You want to scrape off as much glue as you can during this process. It makes it much easier to wash the walls down later. This is just very messy and very time-consuming. This is something interesting that I've never seen before. They stamped 4 birds on this wall. I think that they're eagles. At first I thought they were angels until I got a better look at them, but I think that there's some sort of an eagle. Anyway, in either of the wings, on either side of the wings, they put anchors. And so I'm thinking that at one point they must have had a towel bar here, and then they decided to raise it up here. And they must have had something anchored to this part of the wall and this part of the wall as well. I don't know, but I've never seen it before. I thought it was kind of interesting, so I thought I would mention it. Oh boy, this bathroom keeps giving me lots of surprises. For whatever reason, and I don't know why, there is a drywall patch here behind the sink. Now the original medicine cabinet covered that. However, the new one that I bought is not going to cover it because it's much smaller. So we are going to have to mud and tape that area. Another problem I'm running into is they wallpapered these walls before they installed anything. So they papered before they put the cabinet in, before they put the sink top in, because all this wallpaper is behind it. And another problem I had was with the door. They put all of the trim up after they papered, so I've been having a very hard time getting that cleaned up. I had to use my X-Acto knife to cut it as close as I could, and I think that I'm probably going to have the same problem with the trim around this window. I'm sure that they put the paper up and then they put the trim up, which for them made a really nice clean look. Unfortunately for me, it just means way more work trying to get this paper off. On most of the walls, I took the top layer of paper off first, and then I scraped off the remaining layer of paper with my scraper before starting on the next wall. However, it's just as easy to remove the top layer from all of the walls first and then take off the remaining paper underneath. I taped off the electrical box for the lighting to keep water from getting inside. Next is the most strenuous part, washing all of the remaining glue off the walls. There is a lot of scrubbing involved and it is a major workout. I actually split this up over 2 days. You need to rinse your cloth and replace your soapy water very frequently. As soon as it looks milky or cloudy, it's time to replace it. I use Dawn dish soap for this as well. I needed to spackle any areas where the drywall paper was absent. There were many areas. For some reason, they didn't prime and paint the drywall next to the vanity, the doors, or the floor trim.
So what I got is 3 boards here, probably overkill, but I'm going to stick that one in here once I get it all cleaned up. Then I'm going to stick this one over in here, and then at the very last I'll stick that one up in there. So they're all, and screw them all so they're flush with the drywall, and I got a place to screw these pieces into. And then we'll screw these onto that. But in the meantime, all these edges that are like rolled over, and I gotta cut these so this ends up flush. I don't know what I need.
We are using 90-minute joint compound. This dries much harder than spackling. And we are using it to fill in the large anchor holes in the walls. And on the ceiling as well. This area was not wet and must have been patched at some point by the previous owners. They must have had an issue at some point and patched it, but when we opened it up, all was dry and well. We also used this drywall mud to fill in around the electrical box. Since there was a gap and my new light fixture didn't quite cover it. I needed to use drywall primer in these areas. This needs to be done before adding new wallpaper or paint. Next, I painted the ceiling. I like to use the pink tinted paint because it makes it so much easier to see while putting it on, and I did 2 coats. And finally, I used stain kill on all of the walls to make a nice, clean surface for my new wallpaper and paint. I caulked the gap between the wall and the quarter round since I will be painting this trim. And here is the beautifully finished walls and ceiling, all ready for their new makeover. If you've ever watched any of our previous videos, you will know that prepping your walls and your surfaces is key. If you want to have a nice finish, you really want to take the time and do the work to prep your walls. If you've seen my 1999 camper renovation videos or my 2005 RV videos, you will know that prepping is key, and it's no different with this bathroom. So now that my walls are all beautifully done, we are going to be doing some wallpapering in the bathroom, some painting, and some decorative trim as well. And I will give you a sneak peek. This is the beautiful wallpaper that I have purchased for the bathroom, and this is called Queen Anne's Lace. Now you can get this on Amazon and you can get it on Wayfair. On Wayfair it has a different name, but it's still the same print, and it also comes in different colors as well. So I cannot wait to get started on part 2 of our bathroom renovation. It's going to be beautiful. I have ordered new lighting and a new medicine cabinet and new drawer pulls, and the room is just going to be totally transformed. Also, we've been working on another project simultaneously with this bathroom, and that is the flower beds in our front yard. Now these flower beds are raised and they go all around the front porch of our house, and the previous owners, probably many years ago now, purchased these used. The problem is when we bought the house, they were completely overgrown. I mean, they're just hanging way over the edge of the built-in planter boxes, and and there really isn't any cutting them back where they're going to look good. They just need to be taken out. So we're going to take them out, we're going to start over, and we're going to plant some beautiful new shrubbery. And I'm also going to be decorating our front porch for fall. And so that is another upcoming video as well. So if you haven't already subscribed, please consider doing so that you will be notified when these videos become available. And as always, Rick and I would like to thank you all so much for watching today's video. We love you guys, and we will see you all soon. Goodbye.